Apple Punk is just short for Appalachian Punk. Most of these, this is probably going to be the first segment of the Apple Punk. I'm going to be doing a lot of hour plus long programs of these. A lot of DIYs and stuff involved with that. DVDs, mostly home burnt DVDs. So I talk more about that at the end of the video. A lot of things involved. Political talks, music talks, DIY, stuff like that. Gonna be a lot more involved in them than what's in this video. This is just as much a segment as it is a promotional ideal attempt at Apple Punk. So I'll talk a little bit more about it at the end of the video. But for now, let's go with this. Alright, this isn't going to be pointed at anyone specifically, but seems like anybody who goes online and posts their I voted stickers, whether you're by yourself or as a couple, it's just a vanity attempt to seem patriotic, when in the long runs, anybody who runs for any sort of big political office, especially something like a presidency, has nothing but a celebrity endorsement, a public figure to speak for corporate interests, and they really don't give a fuck about you. For the most part, they're only speaking on behalf of corporations on what they want, and that's on a party basis plus an individual basis for whoever is running for office, regardless of how similar anything of any party says. There's always something a little bit different. But it's always the same corporations, just different child or parent company names they're speaking for. But they're really nothing more than corporate bootlickers, and really, if you're one of these people that goes online and posts about how great any specific person is when you don't really know them on a personal level, you just know they're running for the party you typically vote for, kind of makes you a bootlicker too. And it's just a continuation of really celebrity worship. These politicians, it doesn't matter how much they lie to you or how much they sugarcoat their lies, at the end of the day, they still will never give a fuck about you. 99% of the time, they're just making up bullshit to seem relatable to you. And the people they want to try to relate to the most, to try to get their votes in the most, regardless of race, sexuality, ethnicity, anything like that, is the poor and the working class. Which are, if you haven't figured out by now, are always the people they're fucking over the most. So you can post your I voted stickers all you want. I appreciate that according to the Constitution you're practicing those rights, which are really more or less just privileges, because based off of really your social status according to either the state's law, county law, whatever, regardless of what social status you have, they can be taken away, and if they can be just taken away, then they're not really full-fledged rights, they're more privileges. So it's, like I said, this isn't here to promote this to anyone specifically, or try to convert someone or anyone into any sort of political ideals. But if you vote, then you voted. Let it be that in itself, that you voted. But at the end of the day, let it be that to yourself and your circle of close friends or associates who, regardless if you agree with each other or not on most topics, let that be between yourself and possibly them. It doesn't have to be a vanity project. Between you and me, there are gonna be some big changes coming soon. And most of them aren't gonna be things we like or want to see. But these politicians and the corporations in which they're really working for are being quite a bit more open on how little they actually give a fuck about anybody. But don't worry, as long as you stay ever faithful to the title in which your family has always voted for, on the majority, or that you have always voted for because your mother or your father or your uncle that you liked, whoever, voted for that party typically, then should be fine, right? You know, quit with this celebrity worship. It's bad. Playing the games with saying that you're backing off from that celebrities aren't relatable to you, as long as it's involved with Hollywood, because it's the music executives and the actors and actresses that aren't relatable to you when it comes to celebrities. But when it comes to the politicians, automatically, it seems like people still think they are for the people and with the people. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about anybody. It's all fancy talk. So think about it. There's multiple people running for president. It's the Democratic with Harris, who has blatantly and obviously lied multiple times on television about her upbringing, what she cares about, what kind of person she is in association with the people. It's not just what they say, it's their body language. You can also tell. If you pay attention to body language at all, you notice she doesn't relate to the middle class, the working class, the poor class at all. Or you got Donald Trump, who is literally a classified pedophile. It's literally proven, whether he's been charged in court or not, it's been proven that he associates and has no problems with calling major league pedophiles his friends. And as long as he's part of that circle, it doesn't make him any better, because he's associated and gone to their properties where things were known to happen. Other parties too. Just because they don't get the popular votes often doesn't mean they aren't possibly a better alternative, but at the end of the day, nobody who needs to be in the seat of president ever makes a real effort to be in that position. Just remember that. Right, Apple Punk is short for Appalachian Punk. It's more of a mindset and a way of living than it is a fashion statement in just saying you listen to Black Flag all the goddamn time. So this is the first segment of Apple Punk. Gonna be a lot of DIYs, stuff like that involved with these series. There are also going to be a lot of series of these that are a lot longer than this segment is, that are mostly going to be put on DVD. And if you'd like to do some sort of a home burnt DVD subscription to Apple Punk, you can contact me at elfilms13@gmail.com. or goatfog22@gmail.com. I'll put both those emails at the end of the video, and if you want to do that DVD subscription, then be a 1-year payment of $35. Should be at least one DVD a month, upwards of an hour to 2 hours each. So if you're interested in that, then contact me at those emails. You can also PayPal me at goatfog22@gmail.com. So I went through my phone and went to the new channel, and because I just wanted to check in and see if the Tom Hanks episode had got any views or anything, and noticed it wasn't on there. So I came to my computer and got on my YouTube account, and it gave me this warning that there was a possibility that it violated some community guidelines, and they took it down. This is just a warning. If it happens again, your channel will get a strike, and you won't be able to ... Of course, it's saying like upload, etc. for a week. Removed. The content can't be viewed on YouTube. So let's get on here to begin review. Of course, I already know what's in my content. We listed any problems we found, but make sure your content follows all policies. Alright, down here at the bottom is where it has the policy: harassment and cyberbullying. Content that contains targeted harassment or malicious insults such as racial slurs isn't allowed on YouTube. I mean, there's no racial slurs in it. This includes, but is not limited to, stalking, threats, unwanted sexualization, and prolonged name-calling or malicious insults that target intrinsic attributes. So, there are no racial slurs in there or anything like that. And let me tell you some of the things I mentioned in this film. The closest thing to any sort of harassment or cyberbullying that I mentioned in this film, in this documentary segment, is that I mentioned, it says unwanted sexualization in there too. So I didn't make any unwanted sexualization. There were TikTok clips I had got from TikTok, and one of the TikToks was about from the Oscars a few years ago when Ricky Gervais was making jokes about how most of Hollywood was full of pedophiles. And the closest thing to unwanted sexualization in it was one of the clips I put in there was a TikTok that was a clip from a TV show. A TV show, mind you. Let me turn this light on. It was a clip from a TV show that Tom Hanks was in, Whether it was a parody or not, I don't give a fuck. But I included it in the documentary for the sole purpose of helping prove the point that Tom Hanks is in on the big old scheme of Hollywood and political sex trades. And it was him doing some sort of pageant show. Okay, some sort of pageant show with a girl who was obviously under at least 10 years old or younger. And the name of this pageant show or whatever was called um, the Sexy Baby Pageant Show or some bullshit like that. But me as myself made no claims in any sort of support or idealism to support that kind of fucking behavior. All the behavior and claims I made in the documentary where the camera was on me was in disgust towards this sort of fucking behavior. But they're violating my film and saying that I'm the one doing cyberbullying and the sexualized harassment when I'm the one making the documentary proving that they're in on all that shit. So, I'm going to see real quick if there's a way I can reestablish this film onto the channel. And if I can, I will. But if it gets taken down and violated again, then I can't post anything for a week. But boo-hoo, I can't post anything for a week. It just gives me time to work on more material. And if that happens, then I'll just make a short film about how the policy managers or cyber police, the cyber Nazis of Google who own and run YouTube, about how they support pedophilia. Because that's obviously what's going on. Because if there was any sort of issue with the film due to any sort of keywords or anything like that, and whether it's an AI system or whether it's human beings reviewing the film, if they had properly reviewed how the film was put together and what the film was actually about and what it was going against, how it was going against it, and what kind of actions it was supporting to go against it, they wouldn't have flagged and taken down this video, this documentary. So all that shows is on them is that these cyber Nazis that run Google and YouTube, obviously they support this sex trade situation. And if I can get this back on in the next little bit, and they take it down again, if I'll start making DVD copies of this, putting it on flash drives, and if anybody wants a copy, you can have a copy. I may just do that regardless. So if you want a copy, let me know. Yeah, like I said, there'll be these will be longer episodes. Majorically gonna do these on burnt DVD, kind of a subscription thing. Also kind of a way to bring in a little bit of funding for Earth Imitation Films. They're gonna be longer segments on the DVD, but they're gonna be a lot better, more accordingly planned, better layouts, more properly done, kind of documentary style things, projects on the DVDs. Like I said before, this one was more or less to be a sort of promo material and kind of promote the project a little bit.
I'd say a good portion of the segments, well, not a good portion, but I'd say a few of them, probably about 30%, might end up on YouTube also. But I'm not planning on doing that as of the moment. So if you want to kind of subscribe to it, should be at least one DVD a month. I'll mail it to you. One-time payment for a year. $35. Get at least one DVD a month. PayPal me to. I'm taking payments through PayPal. GoFog22@gmail.com. This is going to be the end of this video. And like I said, right after I quit talking here in a second, I'll put a little, black background picture up with the emails on it. So if you're interested, get in contact with me.